this is about refugees. So every person that wants to seek shelter because it's being prosecuted or there is war, that person deserves a place in Europe. I think the biggest problem is that we are not working together within Europe.
We have to control the border. That is normal all over the world, that the state controls the border. And my message is that the state must decide who is allowed to come into the European Union and not the smugglers decide. I'm fully in favor that European Union is a humanitarian continent. We have to care, we have to help. When refugees arrive on our border, we have to see them with their human dignity.
You have to be able to manage migration, you have to be able to make sure the people who come to Europe need protection, or the people come to Europe because we need them, and the people who do not have the right to come to Europe should be returned to their places of origin.
In general, I think the important point is that we will shelter and give protection to refugees who need that, but we want migration to be managed because we need to know who's coming and going in Europe.
On ferme les frontières autour de l'Italie, on ferme les frontières autour de la Grèce, alors qu'on devrait pouvoir donner passage à l'ensemble de ces personnes-là, qui viennent quand même de situations de guerre pour la plus grande majorité d'entre elles, et pouvoir distribuer ça sur l'ensemble de l'Europe. Il faut alors des sanctions pour les pays qui ne respectent pas les quotas qui sont décidés au niveau européen.
Greta Thunberg is very efficient because she's been able to mobilize a huge youth movement, and that youth movement has been able to mobilize politicians in a way that I would not have thought possible 3 years ago. So she deserves a great shout-out.
Je trouve que cette jeune fille a fait quelque chose d'assez extraordinaire. Lié climat et fin de mois, je trouve que c'est un des slogans qui, moi, m'a le plus percuté de l'ensemble des manifestations. Je crois qu'il faut des réponses beaucoup plus fortes par rapport au climat. Exemple, il faut arrêter avec l'obsolescence programmée.
Legislation on the climate change issue is necessary and must be organized by the parliamentarians, by our parliament, by the European Parliament. But Greta Thunberg did a great job to motivate the society and also us politicians to invest more and to do more for fight against climate change.
She really made the point that more needs to be done. And of course you can say that the European Union was telling that on the global stage as well, but they never really wanted to look at their own actions. And I think what Greta Thunberg managed is to look at Europe and say, you need to do more. And I think Greta Thunberg is great in putting pressure on everyone within the European Union to move faster on really tackling climate change. So she did a good job.
I really admire her force and her persistence. And I think she puts it very clearly. I will sacrifice my future since you will not make sure that there is one by not going to school. A lot of things has been done already, but of course we can keep doing more.
It is a free decision of the British friends whether they want to stay. But one thing is clear, when you are leaving the European Union, you are losing the advantages of this union, of this club. And that is what people in Great Britain experience at the moment, that they will lose a lot.
Je pense que le Brexit n'est pas un élément positif. Derrière le Brexit, il peut y avoir d'autres. Je ne sais pas, demain la Hongrie ou peut-être l'Italie, avec la montée des extrêmes droites, avec la puissance qu'ils sont en train de prendre, on risque de faire éclater l'Europe. Ça crée un sentiment de désespoir sur l'ensemble de l'Europe.
It's a bad thing, and if you have to find a silver lining, it would be that it made the 27 come together in order to deal with it, but that can never ever make up for the bad thing that Brexit is.
No one is better off without the United Kingdom, so we still hope that they stick to the EU, but if the United Kingdom wants to leave, then let's at least make sure that we are doing that in an orderly way. So probably what the best way out is to offer a second referendum, look at what the Brexit deal looks like, and then ask the people again, is this really what you wanted? And I think not.
Brexit is terrible for everyone. It's terrible for the United Kingdom, it's terrible for the European Union, it's terrible for the position of Europeans in the world.
The EPP party is a party of compromise, of stability and keeping Europe together, of bridge building. That is what we are doing. That's sometimes not so attractive as having strong positions on left and right, like the populists are doing so. But we as EPP, we are in the center, and we showed in the past that we can manage finally the problems.
On vote pour une Europe qui soit en rupture avec ce qu'on a fait jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Plus de démocratie, moins d'indépendance de la Banque centrale européenne, plus de solidarité entre les pays. Moi, je pense que c'est comme ça qu'on arrivera à faire adhérer les citoyens européens à un projet européen qui est fortement porté, en tout cas par la gauche radicale.
Well, first important decision is to vote, of course. And I hope that among the many ALDE parties, that you as a voter can find someone that you trust to represent you over the next 5 years.
We are the only pro-European party, but also fighting for another Europe. People really want to have an optimistic, a future-oriented alternative, pro-European, but more social and more green. Then you come to the Greens.
It would be an excellent reason to vote for Social Democrats in the upcoming elections, because we want a Europe that is fair, we want a Europe that is free, and we want a Europe that is sustainable.
Oh, I was part of it. Exactly. And obviously I'm behind every decision that we have taken. I think there's a lot of successes, there's a lot to learn, and also to take further on.
Fail. If you look at a couple of important issues, for example, climate change, they hardly did anything to really get to a more ambitious plan. And on the social side, this European Commission didn't deliver. So for a commission of the last chance, they didn't do well.
The last 5 years under the leadership of the current Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker was a period of crisis management. We had the migration crisis, still the Euro crisis, and the Brexit happened. So that was a challenge for Jean-Claude Juncker. And having this in mind, I think the Commission did a good job.
The Juncker Commission deserves a pass because we faced huge crises and managed them, and we also set in motion a change to a sustainable economy which Europe needs desperately. And we have increased investment in a way that has led to hundreds of thousands of extra jobs in Europe.
Moi, je pense que la commission Juncker est passée à côté des objectifs pour essayer d'avoir une Europe plus cohérente et où la population européenne adhère à l'idée de l'Europe. Je pense qu'il y a plein de sujets comme le dumping fiscal, le dumping social, plein de sujets comme ça qui n'ont pas abouti, et je pense que c'est peut-être un des échecs le plus importants de la commission Juncker.